out at the corner of 3rd and King. Wednesday night, two of the game's best lefties, Madison Bumgarner and David Price, met in a pitcher's duel, eventually won by the Giants. Tonight, more great pitching. Three-time Cy Young Award winner Clayton Kershaw up against the Giants right-hander Johnny Cueto. It's a National League West showdown. The rivalry continues in a matchup of aces. Kershaw, Cueto, next. It's a beautiful night, a windy night at 24 Willie Mays Plaza. The big crowd is gathering. It's the Giants and the Dodgers. Hello, everyone. I'm John Miller with Mike Krukow. Welcome to Giants baseball. And we had a thriller here on Wednesday. A great matchup with Bumgarner and Price. The Giants won it, even though they had only 3 hits. And they may have to figure out a way to do something similar tonight against Clayton Kershaw, one of the best there is. And the Giants with 5 lefties in their lineup. One thing that's going in their way, and there aren't that many, it would seem, Johnny Cueto, because Cueto's won 5 different games by either 1-0 or 2-1 this year.
Oh yeah, it figures to be all about pitching. Well, Clayton Kershaw comes in here with an 8-1 record, a ERA of 1.46. Johnny Cueto's won more games. He's 9-1 with a 2.1 ERA. Both guys are having tremendous first halves. It is going to come down to who catches the ball the best and who makes the fewest mistakes of 90 feet. It always is that way when you have 2 aces going at each other. Look for a very quick pace game and a lot of great pitching.
Giants, Dodgers, game 1 of the big 3-game weekend series. The Dodgers 4 games out in the West. Stay tuned. We'll take you to the CSN Bay Area studios for more on tonight's game right after these messages.
We've got the rivalry milling around AT&T Park, the China Basin. Juan Marichal looking on. We've got Dodgers. We've got Giants. First of a 3-game set here in Northern California. Hello, welcome into our CSN studios. Ahmed Fareed along with Rich Aurilia. So not only do we have the rivalry, hashtag beat LA, the We've got some pretty good pitching matchups as the series goes on. We got Kershaw going against Cueto on the first one. You got Samardzija, Kazmir. You got PV and the 19-year-old Julio Urias. But, Rich, we're going to start with Clayton Kershaw, who's normally very good. This year, maybe even better than that.
Absolutely. I mean, we're looking at historic numbers here. Every year it seems like we talk about Clayton Kershaw and where he falls in the history of pitchers, and every year it seems to get better. I mean, his strikeout to walk ratio this year is absolutely ridiculous, and we all know he dominates the Giants on a regular basis, especially at AT&T Park. So it's going to be tough for the Giants to scrounge some runs up tonight against Kershaw, especially with some of the injuries that they have to their offense.
Buster Posey in the lineup, so that is the good news against Clayton Kershaw. But the Dodgers have won each of the last 7 times Kershaw has gone out there. The Giants, though, have won each of the last 8 times that Johnny Cueto has been on the mound. He has been worth every penny of that free agent contract so far.
I think he's performed above and beyond what the Giants thought he would do from day one. This guy's been, an ace or a 1A ace next to Bumgarner, but we've seen him just dominate through all these starts this year. He had a couple of hiccups early in games, but he straightened it out, stayed in the game through 6 innings, got it all straightened out, gives them a chance to win. If this offense could get a couple runs on the board early for him tonight, hopefully they can pull out another victory for Cueto.
He's been dominant. Kershaw's been dominant. We anticipate maybe a 2-1, 3-0, or it could be, 10-5. You never know.
Never know.
You never know. I wouldn't bet on that, though. So we got Giants and Dodgers, the rivalry renewed at AT&T Park. We got to take another break, but we'll send you back out to AT&T Park right after this.
A day off to re-energize and begin a 3-game series with division rivals, the Los Angeles Dodgers, this evening. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's probably going to be a pitcher's duel. You've got Clayton Kershaw going up against Johnny Cueto. Welcome back to the broadcast. I'm Amy Gutierrez. The Giants, they are a bit banged up right now. That means the bench really needs to step up, and that is exactly what rookie Mac Williamson did on Wednesday night. He hit the game-winning home run. It was his first major league home run, and he hit it off of David Price. It's our BMW drive of the game. Crooked Kite have the call.
And Williamson hits a high fly ball to left. Young back at the wall. It is on a hair.
The ultimate driving machine, Bay Area BMW.com. I thoroughly enjoyed giving Mac that ball, witnessing pure joy on his face. He said, Mom's gonna love that. And speaking as a mom, Mac, yes, she will. All right, tonight, a great pitching matchup. As I said, Johnny Cueto going up against Clayton Kershaw. We've got lineups, we've got first pitch, and we've got John Miller and Mike Krukow. Stay with us, it's gonna be a good one.
Of San Francisco Bay for the Giants and the Dodgers, game one of the three-game series.
All right, time now for our key ingredients of the game, brought to you by Round Table Pizza. The new sausage and sweet pepper supreme pizza is available at participating locations, including online and mobile ordering. Round Table, the last honest pizza. Number one, get Kershaw early, meaning he gets after hitters and tries to get strike one. Oftentimes, that's the best pitch you're going to get in the at-bat. Be ready for it. Number two, lefties, make a statement. The Giants, 5 left-handers in the lineup tonight going against Kershaw, and not one of them is a pitcher. Make a statement, and maybe the whole league will start doing it. Number 3, Cueto, go deep. He has been very, very good at getting the ball into the 8th inning, and tonight he's going to have to do it again. Those are our round table key ingredients.
Let's take a look at the batting orders now. First off for the Dodgers, it'll be Chase Utley, second base. Corey Seager, not only hitting .283, but in the last 6 games, 5 homers and 7 RBIs, 14 homers for the year. He is starting to blossom. Justin Turner, third base. Adrian Gonzalez, the veteran slugger, first base hitting cleanup. Trace Thompson, he has been a great acquisition for the White Sox. He's in right field with Yasiel Puig on the disabled list. Jock Peterson in center, the Bay Area product. Yasmani Grandal catches, hitting 7th. Kike Hernandez in left field, and Clayton Kershaw bats 9th.
On the hill tonight for the Giants will be the 30-year-old right-hander Johnny Cueto, 5'11", 220 pounds. And for Cueto, he is in his 9th year at the big league level. And when you take your at-bats against Cueto, you're going to see a fastball that goes 90, 95, depending on situation. Most of his high-velocity fastballs will be in 2-strike counts. He'll sink and cut the fastball. He's got a slider, a curveball, and a very good changeup. 9-1 with a 2.16 ERA. Excuse me, and that is his great start here in his first 10 decisions as a Giants. Against the Dodgers, lifetime 4-5 with a 3.16 ERA.
This first pitch of the night is in there for a called strike, and he right away went to that quicker delivery, the sort of a slide step without the big motion. He'll come after hitters in many different ways. And that hit him. And Chase Utley, I think, just took one for the team.
He's done that his whole career. Let's take a look at the Giants defense playing behind Johnny Cueto, starting the Giants outfield. From left to right, you're going to see Williamson, Span, and Parker. Good arms in the corner, the best arm in left field with Williamson tonight. Crawford, Duffy on the left side of the infield. Panic and Belt on the right side. Buster Posey back in the lineup. He'll be in the squad, putting down the signs.
Now Corey Seager, and as you saw when we gave the lineups, he is remarkably hot right now.
And hot with the long ball. 14 home runs.
5 homers in his last 7 games. A little squibber. And I don't think he would have had a play on him anyway. Wow. He just barely even made contact with that ball, and he got a base hit.
Now the Giants had put a shift on him. They had Duffy well off the line. I mean, he was exposed, and a swing and bunt. And he knew he had one chance, and that was bare hand only. And with all that spin on the ball, hard to get a grip if you're Duffy. I mean, that was just big time spinach. And in the end, no play. So a couple of bad breaks here early against Cueto.
The further that went up the line, the further away from the foul line it went. Had a reverse kind of spin on it. So here now is Justin Turner with a chance to do some early damage for LA, hitting only .220. And that one goes right by Buster Posey, and the runners both advance.
Well, this has not started off very well for the Giants. We talk about the 90-foot mistakes being very, very key in this game. And I think right there, just somebody got crossed up. 2-seam fastball. And Posey, I don't know if Turner, when he brought the bat out in front, if he blocked the vision from Posey, because he never saw it. And I think that's what happened.
And well off the target with Buster sitting on the outside. That went off the inside. 2-0 the count. It did look like he put the bat right at eye level of Buster Posey.
Don't think he ever saw it.
That is on the outside corner. DJ Rayburn is the home plate umpire. 2-1 the count. The umpiring alignment shows Bill Welke at first, Mike Malinsky at second, and John Hirschbeck, the crew chief, at third base.
And it's important early in the game to get DJ Rayburn looking for strikes. He's a low ball umpire. If you convince him that you're a strike thrower, that strike zone will grow. If you're wild, it has a tendency to get very, very small.
Cueto in big trouble immediately in this game. And a foul tip right into the glove of Buster. The count is 2-2.
Well, that's a nice 2-pitch sequence. The 2-0 fastball away, and he comes back in with 2-seam movement on the fastball on the inside corner on the hands. And he's pitching for the strikeout. He may go right back inside.
A little bit too low. And now it's a full count, 3-2. On deck, Adrian Gonzalez. The Dodgers with runners at second and third just like that. A hit batsman and then an infield hit, and then I never heard how they scored it. It was scored as a wild pitch to move him up. That's back to the screen.
They call the balk. He went up, paused. He did a shimmy shake, which he does quite often, and Bill Welke, the first base umpire, is coming out, and he called a balk. He said he stopped when he got his leg up and then started again, and that's what he's telling Bruce Bochy right now. It's a stop restart. And Bochy's going, wait a second, he's been doing this all year. He's been doing this the last 5 years. And what Welke saw was a stop-start. Well, Cueto did the smart thing, and he was upset by it, but he walked away, let his manager come out and do the arguing. And Bochy's telling him he's done this forever. Why are you calling this against him now? But he went up on the back leg, and there was a little pause, and then he started his shimmy, and that's what Welke defined as a start-stop.
So the Dodgers have a 1-0 lead on the balk.
He'll come into his windup. That's just a bad call. It's not anything he hasn't done, and I don't see the start-stop. Wow.
3-2. And it's a foul out of play. Giants bring the infield in halfway now.
And this is really the reputation of Clayton Kershaw when you bring your infield in the first inning. He's showing him that the little shimmy shake right there is not something you can do.
That's the strikeout for the first out of the inning.
And he's still in a situation where it's a runner at third with one out, and it's still a strikeout situation. And that's what I pitch for here with Gonzalez.
Adrian Gonzalez, long-time, big-time run producer. It's just a bit low. 1 ball and no strikes. Gonzo's had 5 hits in 19 career at-bats against Cueto. Off the inside.
Trying to run that little cutter in on the hands, right at the belt.
There's a right-handed hitter on deck, Trace Thompson. 1-0 LA, 1 out, runner at third. Base hit, and that will make it 2-0. Seager in to score.
Little slider right there, middle in, just above the knee, and a bent arm swing. That's what great hitters do. I mean, they find a way to get the barrel on the ball, even without extending their arms. Gonzalez, one of the truly great RBI guys in the game, and has been his whole career.
That was his 29th run batted in of this year. That's a called strike, although away from the target of Buster Posey, but over the plate, said DJ Rayburn. Trace Thompson has 10 home runs in 133 at-bats for LA. 556 slugging percentage. Base hit to right. Gonzalez will stop at second. Well, this is the ballpark in which the Dodgers scored 5 in the first inning against Cueto much earlier this year. And the Giants then came back and ultimately won that game. That was the final game of that series back in April. The Dodgers had a 5-run first inning, and rather famously, around here anyway, Hunter Pence, when they got back to the dugout, said, just hold him right there, we'll come back, we're going to win this game. And he did hold him, and the Giants did come back and win the game. But they were not facing Clayton Kershaw that night. Belt, and he's going to go for the short out at first. Never even looked over at second base.
And that's a surprise. I mean, they had the out at second base. I mean, that would have taken a runner out of scoring position. Brandon Belt is a good throwing first baseman.
And he likes to throw. He relishes the opportunity to throw. So the inning goes on. And Jock Peterson, who hit the ball, a very fast runner. So there was no sure thing that it was going to be a double play if he'd thrown to second, but Might have been first and third instead of second and third for Grandal, a switch hitter. And it's ball one. Grandal hitting only .195 for the year with 5 home runs. And it's 2-0. 2 runs in for the Dodgers. And 2 men down. And runners at second and third. An inning that has featured a hit batsman, an infield hit, a wild pitch, a balk for the first run, and then a couple of singles. Now Cueto trying to limit the damage. Gonzalez at third. Thompson, who is a fast runner, is at second. That changeup, and it's 2-1.
Now he's digging deep into his bag of tricks right now. He knows how important this out is. 2 runs in, 2 runs in scoring position. It's a big moment in this game.
So 3-1 now. Got a right-handed hitter, Kike Hernandez, on deck.
And he does not have to give into him here with an open base at first. In his mind, it's a 1-2 count, not a 3-1 count. Pitch to a corner, let your movement take it out of the strike zone. Make him swing at your pitch.
Strike 2 call.
And he's just softballing a lot of changeups.
Three and 2 the count. Another changeup. And that one hit right on the lip of the grass after being a big bouncer. But Belt reacted to it and got the put out to end the inning. But the Giants already down by 2 as Kershaw gets ready to take them out. Already trailing against Clayton Kershaw 2-0 before he has thrown a pitch. The Giants batting order now brought to you by Audi. Visit a Bay Area Audi dealer today and get behind the wheel of the Audi model you've always wanted. Bernard Span, center field. Joe Panik, second base, both lefties. Matt Duffy, third base. Buster Posey back in there. His first game since last Saturday with an irritated nerve in his right thumb. Brandon Belt, a lefty, first base. Mac Williamson, one of the heroes for the Giants Wednesday against David Price, left field. Brandon Crawford at short, he's a lefty, and Jarrett Parker is a lefty as well in right field. Cueto, the pitcher, bats ninth. 5 left-handed batters, Mike, in the Giants lineup against the great lefty.
And we don't know, but I'm assuming it doesn't happen a whole lot against Clayton Kershaw, who is on the hill tonight. 8-1 on the year for Kershaw with a 1.46 ERA. How does that rank in the major leagues? Well, he leads the major leagues in ERA and whip in innings pitched and ranked second in strikeouts. When you take your at bat, you're going to see a 92 to 96 mile an hour fastball. He can cut it, curveball, slider, changeup. He's got them all. And he can put him pretty much where he wants him.
0-1. And that first pitch being a strike, nearly 70% of the time that first pitch has been a strike this year for Kershaw.
He's a big guy, 6'4", 220 pounds, 28 years of age, in his 8th year at the big league level.
And it's 0-2. That hitter's backdrop and the center field scoreboard still reflecting the bright sunshine into the eyes of the hitter. The rest of the field covered in the dark shadows of the early evening, late afternoon. So the visibility is not the best right now. And he blew that one right by him.
3 pitches, 3 fastballs. Let's take a look at the defense the Dodgers will employ tonight behind Clayton Kershaw, starting in their outfield from left to right. It'll be Hernandez, Peterson, and Thompson. The best arm in left field with Hernandez. It's a good one. Seager, Turner will patrol the left side of the infield. Utley and Gonzalez on the right side. Yasmani Grandal. He'll be in the squad, putting down the signs.
Joe Panic. Another fastball, another strike.
And just pounding the knees on the outside corner.
Going back, Peterson. Now he squares up. 2 down.
Peterson, a very good defensive center fielder. Covers a lot of ground. Gets a great first step on the ball.
Matt Duffy coming up. Here's Toyota by the numbers. Toyota's cool deal summer event is here. See your local dealer for great savings on every dependable Toyota car, SUV, and truck. Hurry in before these deals melt away. Toyota, let's go places. And Matt Duffy's on this list. And there's a strike, a fastball. Most opposite field hits so far this year in the National League. And Matt Duffy is second on that list, just behind DJ LeMahieu and tied with Adrian Gonzalez of the Dodgers. Left field. Hernandez just turns and looks up. Adios, pelota! Matt Duffy launches one, and the Giants get one of those runs right back.
And he got 41,000 into the game. They set up on the inside corner with him. And this is what they've been waiting for him to do, and that's pull the inside fastball. And they've been working on his swing to get to that pitch, and boy, does he throw the head right through it.
Buster Posey back. And that was not a first pitch fastball for the first time.
Well, really keeps that elbow tucked in late.
On 2. That ball halfway up in the bleachers out there. Pretty good shot.
Telling you, watch Kike Hernandez in left field. He took one step back and stopped. And I think it's important the Giants answered, and they did.
And the breaking ball is a little bit too high. 3rd home run of the year for Duffy. It's been a while since he last hit one.
Yeah, he just put Clayton Kershaw into his book. That's a prestigious page.
Thompson. And that one started to fade, and he had to catch it just above the ankles. The inning is over. But Matt Duffy goes bye-bye, baby, as Russ Hodges used to say. It's 2-1 LA as we head to the 2nd.
Giants making a roster move today. They had to place Kelby Tomlinson on the DL with a sprained left thumb. They called Ramiro Pena up. Ramiro talked before the game. He said this one's extra special because while he does have service time in the major leagues, he did not get to play at the big league level last year. He talked to Boch when he got here. Boch said, be ready. Gentlemen.
All right, thanks, Amy G, with the update. This is how he apparently injured the thumb, making the dive on that play.
Well, it kind of landed on his glove and it rolled under on him, and it's when you can have a thumb or a finger injury. Didn't say anything about it when he left the ballpark that night.
Yeah, Bruce Bochy said that it caught him by surprise because he did not take any treatment after the game. He left the ballpark thinking he was fine. Now, to get Ramiro Pena on the 40-man roster so that he could be activated, the Giants moved Sergio Romo to the 60-day disabled list. But that's not because Romo's had any kind of a further setback. It's just a procedural thing. He's been on the disabled list nearly 60 days already. That's back to the screen. 1-2 to Kike Hernandez. Hitting 8th in the order. Clayton Kershaw is on deck. Dodgers are without Yasiel Puig, who's on the disabled list. Andre Ethier has not played an inning this whole season so far on the disabled list. Now it's 2-2. Dodgers, interestingly enough, although they scored 2 runs in the first inning, hitting only .232 as a team so far this year. Wow. Struck him out. That ball just disappeared.
Changeup and an absolute pearl. Well, we're holding a fundraiser benefiting our troops during the July 4th through the 6th game. Your fundraising package will include a limited edition 4th of July Giants hat and a ticket to see the Giants take on the Rockies. And $5 from each package will benefit Operations Care and Comfort to aid in the ongoing mission to support troops, veterans, and their families. Go to sfgiants.com/special events.
0-1 to Kershaw. And strike 2.
Take a look at perfection with the changeup. Completely fools Hernandez. He saw the arm action, expected the fastball, got out front, grabbed some pie and meat.
And Kershaw is gone very quickly.
I think about 4 breaks that went against Cueto in the first inning, and he allows 2 runs. When the Giants answered with the home run in the bottom of the first inning off of Duffy's bat, you could see how it uplifted Cueto. All of a sudden, okay, my teammates will pick me up. See it in his rhythm. It's a little quicker.
So here's Chase Utley, and he started that inning, and he appeared to take one for the team. He allowed the ball to hit him.
Well, he really is one of the keys tonight. I mean, he lifetime has had good numbers against Johnny Cueto, hitting .379 coming into this game. So you know Utley sees him well.
A ball and a strike. Chase Utley, whose career numbers against Cueto you see, .385. Lifetime batting average against him. Here is Mac Williamson looking up into the twilight. And that is a quick inning for Johnny Cueto. It'll be Belt, Williamson, and Brandon Crawford coming up. deals at McDonald's with the McD app. It's free. Download the McD app on your smartphone and get great deals at participating Greater Bay Area McDonald's. Visit McDapp.com.
Well, rip-off, scams, shady businesses, we all know consumer problems are a fact of life. That's why NBC Bay Area responds to those problems and returns your money. Call NBC Bay Area Responds on the hotline below or send an email at the website below. They respond to every call, every email.
And don't email them and start calling them about that balk. That's not what we're talking about.
No. In fact, I encourage you to call them about the balk.
Okay. Get them on the case.
That was a scam.
Here is Brandon Belt facing Clayton Kershaw. Brandon Belt, and against Kershaw, really, Kershaw's been his worst nightmare. 3 infielders to the right of second. They got the overshift on for him. And the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. He's had only 3 hits in 43 lifetime at bats against him, and he struck out in more than half of those at bats.
Well, I mean, if I'm Belt, I'm thinking about bunting down the third base line.
They're giving it to him. And you see how they're playing it. They're inviting him to go ahead and bunt. 1-2. Belt against left-handed pitching so far this year has hit 300, so it's not like he's struggled badly. He's had a little bit better average against lefties than righties. Curveball right to the Dodger dugout. It scrambled a few people. It hit the screen in front. 1-2.
Well, you're 3 for 43 against a guy. You're just not seeing it. You're not seeing the spin on the ball. You're not identifying the pitch early.
And that's all for Brandon Belt. The high hard one puts him away. Second strikeout for Kershaw. So here comes Mac Williamson. Now he faced one of the premier left-handers from the American League here on Wednesday night. David Price of the Red Sox, who struck him out 2 times in a row, but he got Price in the 8th inning in a 1-1 game. And that proved to be the winning run. A home run.
Well, in the Giants clubhouse, Mac Williamson is about 6 lockers away from Madison Bumgarner. And before the game days, Bumgarner yells out to Williamson, Hey Williamson, you want to know how to hit a home run off Kershaw? Come see me. I'll tell you how.
And the curveball drops in there. Strike 2.
Well, Bumgarner's done it twice, so I mean the guy should be lining up in front of his locker.
Please give me the secret. Not that time for Williamson. 2 down.
All right, time now for our Ford Right Choice. The new Ford F-150 is the official truck of Madison Bumgarner's. Built Ford tough. Learn more at your CaliforniaFord.com. April 8, 2016 against the Dodgers. That's when Brandon Crawford hit a walk-off home run off of Joe Blanton in the 10th inning. Giants won that ball game 3-2.
It was his only hit of that game. That was the night that Ross Stripling carried a no-hitter into the 8th inning, and with 1 out he walked somebody, left the game with a no-hitter going. Foul ball off the catcher and then off the screen. 0-1.
He was on him. He was looking fastball, got his pitch just underneath it.
It's just 1 hit in 21 at bats. It doesn't seem possible, but his average is lower than Belt's against Kershaw. Again, pretty good swing. 0-2.
He's had a good swing for the last couple weeks. I mean, with him, you look at his lower body. When his lower body is balanced and he's staying on that back leg, I mean, he's going to have a good swing. And when he gets it going, it's really hard to get him off the back leg. Whatever speed you're throwing up there, he sees it and he stays back on it.
One and 2. Brandon Crawford, 6 home runs, 32 batted in, second in the club in runs batted in. And that's the strikeout. Clayton Kershaw runs the table on strikeouts here in the second. Corey Seager coming up in the third.
Brought to you by Supercuts. Save time. Check in online with a mobile app or at supercuts.com. It's easy to find the right location, time, and stylist to get you ready to go. Supercuts.
Corey Seager is out on the first pitch, although just before that pitch was thrown, you heard a big cheer go up in the ballpark. And the people who have a monitor, I think, are tuned into the Warrior game here at the ballpark as Steph Curry just hit a 3. So we may have some cheering at odd times here, especially as that game gets late into the second half. Justin Turner struck out his first time, facing Johnny Cueto here in the third. And that spins in there for a called strike. Dodgers got 2 runs in the first inning. And they certainly had a lot of things that went right for them in that inning. Hit batsman, little squibber that went for an infield hit, a wild pitch, a balk. Giants got a run of their own, however, against Kershaw in the last of the first on a Matt Duffy home run. And that's too low. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Justin Turner.
Good location with the changeup. We're going to miss down below. Way ahead in the count, 0-2.
Right to the second baseman, Joe Panik. Atom ball.
If you're going to have a good game, you have to have a couple of those. Nevertheless, nice 2-strike at bat from Justin Turner. Hitting into a little bad luck there.
Well, as Barry Bonds used to say, you can't do anything more than hit the ball hard, square it up. Somebody catches it, well, you've done your job. You hit it hard somewhere. His ball, or rather a called strike on the first pitch to Gonzalez, who drilled a single to right to knock in the Dodgers' second run in that first inning rally. Giants had the big shift on for him. Not the complete overshift. Brandon Crawford, as you see, is not all the way over to the right side. He's behind second. And Panik is well out into right field.
Johnny Cueto wanted to know where that little backdoor cutter was. He thought he had a strike there, 0-1.
He didn't get that one either. 2-1.
Well, he's doing the right thing. He's upset. You can get upset, no problem. Take a walk, cool down. Make sure you're ready to go and you're committed to that next pitch you're about to throw.
2 balls and a strike to the dangerous veteran Adrian Gonzalez. Now 2-2.
Take a look at the fastball, the 2-seam fastball that was called a ball. I mean, that's right there. And DJ Rayburn says, no, I think that was a little outside, which, you know, it could have been.
Two down, nobody on. Gonzalez backs away for a moment. Trace Thompson is on deck. 2-1, LA leading. Back to the screen. 93 miles an hour with that high fastball.
Right on the hands, too, inside corner. And he's really spotting his pitch as well. It's about where he should be. 45 pitches is what you want to be at the end of the 3rd inning.
Struck him out. And he has retired 8 straight Dodgers. The Giants have Parker, Cueto, and Span coming up. X1 will change the way you experience TV only from Xfinity. Brian Reynolds, he was the Giants' first pick in the draft yesterday, the 59th overall choice. The Giants did not have a first-round draft choice. He's out of Vanderbilt University, a junior outfielder, 6 feet 4 inches tall, a switch hitter, and very fast, hitting .330 with a .461 on base average. And he's a center fielder and a legitimate center fielder. And we saw John Barr, Mike, before the game came into the booth. There's another day to go in the draft. This was day 2. They were very excited that he was still available to them that late with the 59th overall pick. That's a strike on the inside. So quickly, Jarrett Parker behind in the count 0-2. He didn't seem to be so sure that really was a strike.
Now it's a generous strike in height. You haven't seen many high strikes called with DJ Rayburn. Well, John Barr, who's the vice president, assistant GM, and in charge of scouting, it's great to see him excited. And he was excited about the Giants' first-round pick today. He said he's got a high IQ baseball-wise. You know, he got excited when Buster Posey was signed. He got excited when Joe Panik signed. I mean, got excited when they got Crawford. When he gets excited, it's a good thing.
2-2. Jarrett Parker, who's hit 3 home runs in the big leagues this year and only 46 at bats, which is pretty good. He hadn't had many other hits. .217 average. And that's a strikeout. Kershaw has struck out 4 straight Giants.
Well, he's got his A game going. He's faced 8 guys, got 5 strikeouts. And really, nothing that he does surprises you. And he's done it in 28 pitches. That's the thing about Kershaw. He's an amazingly efficient pitcher when it comes to pitch out or to pitch count.
Cueto shows bunt, and that's called the ball a little bit low. Kershaw wasn't so sure about that. Cueto's had 2 hits in 27 at bats this year. 1-1.
Well, he was taken all the way. He was just kind of jimmy jacking around there trying to be a distraction to Kershaw.
1-2. What's an upset is if Kershaw ever walks somebody. With 5 strikeouts in this game, he has 114 strikeouts for the year, opposed to 6 walks.
Well, that's just remarkable. And there's no other way to describe it. It's just remarkable to have that type of strikeout walk ratio.
Kershaw. Nice play.
Oh, did we fail to mention he's also quick as a cat off the mound?
Okay, so there's a couple of things he does pretty well. I'm starting to get the picture now.
Yeah, it's a nice for a left-handed pitcher when the ball goes to the third base side because his momentum is going towards that side of the field after he releases the ball. But still, nice footwork. Strike to Gonzalez at first base.
Even when he's throwing to a base, it's a strike at the knees.
That's exactly right.
Leadoff man Denard Span, who struck out on 3 pitches his first time. Kike Hernandez near the foul line. And the Giants are gone quickly and quietly. Kershaw's thrown 34 pitches in 3 innings. Trace Thompson coming up against Cueto.
Giants taking on the Red Sox, top of the 9th inning. Casilla through an air. And then Lopez comes, gets a walk and a strikeout with Travis Shaw, and then with Marco Hernandez up 1 pitch, they get to force a second, and a combination of Casilla, Lopez, Strickland, they get the job done. The Giants win that ball game in a very well played tight 2-1 game. And that's our Jeep play of the game. Play of the game brought to you by Jeep Cherokee. With an EPA estimated 31 highway miles per gallon, it's the perfect choice. Visit Jeep.com for more information.
So here is Trace Thompson, who singled to right his first time. He is the brother of Here's the first pitch to him, and that's in there for a strike. He's the brother of Klay Thompson of the Warriors, so Klay is much more popular here in the Bay Area.
Well, Trace Thompson has been a nice surprise for these Dodgers. I mean, he's having a nice first half.
Got 10 home runs. In the hands, a late break, and here is Williamson. He had to come hard at the last. He saw that big swing. He broke back on it initially. One away. Jock Peterson. Going down the line after it is Duffy, but it's into the crowd.
No, he hadn't played right. Make a play, find a young fan, doesn't get any better.
Jock Peterson, who had an all-star, literally all-star first half of the season last year, and then really went into the doldrums after the all-star break. Had a horrible second half. And he got off to a pretty nice start this year, and he's in the midst of a big slump right now. Hitting .220. He runs up as if to bunt and takes a called strike with a changeup. In at the knees, it's 0-2. Giants have the overshift on. 3 infielders to the right of second. Only Duffy remaining on the left side. Peterson grounded out to Brandon Belt in the first. 2-1. The Dodgers lead the Giants.
Softball, another changeup, backed it up. And one thing about Cueto, I mean, he's fearless with his stuff. And he'll throw 5 changeups in a row. He doesn't care. If he thinks it's the right thing to upset the timing that he reads off the hitter, he'll go with it. With him, it's all about upsetting the timing.
In the outfield, Panic hurries, just got him. Peterson's a fast runner. Ends up being a pretty long throw for a second baseman.
Well, with Peterson's speed, if you play way back as Panic did into the outfield, if he hits a slow ground ball, I mean, it's going to be a tough play.
So here is Yasmani Grandal. 0-1.
Take a look, and that's just a medium ground ball, and look how close it was at first base. And Peterson gets down the line well.
Popped up, Duffy in foul ground. 3 up, 3 down. 11 in a row retired by Cueto. Panic, Duffy, Posey coming up. by PG&E. PG&E's Home Energy Checkup shows customers new ways to save energy and money based on their energy habits. Learn more at pgne.com/checkup. PG&E, together building a better California.
Giants fans, the 2016 MLB All-Star Game ballot is here. You can head to sfgiants.com/vote to choose your ASG-worthy Giants and send them to the MLB All-Star Game of July 12th in San Diego. Vote today, vote tomorrow. Vote at sfgiants.com/vote.
Giants down 2-1 as they come to bat here in the last of the fourth. Joe Panic will lead off. He hit one hard. A liner caught in straightaway center, a little bit off the warning track. 0-1. Another first pitch strike from Clayton Kershaw.
You have to be compact. You have to be quick. And the hardest thing when you're taking a bat against Kershaw is identifying the spin off the ball.
Curveball is too low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
One thing Kershaw does so well is he hides his delivery for a long time. He drops that back shoulder, coming at you with a high 3/4 release. You do not see it early.
Little dribbler. Here comes a throw. Just in time. Great play by Grandal. And Matt Duffy will come up. Matt Duffy, who homered twice in the first 3 games, including his first at bat in Game 3 of the season against Taylor Youngman in Milwaukee. And this was a fabulous home run. 424 was the reading on it, out into a concourse and headed out back toward downtown Milwaukee. Then after that home run in his first at bat of Game 3, he did not homer again until tonight against Clayton Kershaw. Strike called on the outside.
Yeah, he took him deep with the fastball in. And here Kershaw comes right back at him with a fastball, though it's away. Kershaw's not going to let a guy take a pitch away from him just because he took him out of the ballpark.
Curveball off the outside.
Really a great look from behind home plate. You can see just how long it is before you get to see the ball in his hand as he's coming at you. He drops it, that back shoulder, rocks back. And then boom, here it comes. His 94 it gets on you quick. Here's the pitch, middle in at the belt. That Duffy hit way out and put the Giants on the board against Kershaw in the first.
Duffy's first home run after going 214 at bats without one. Chases that curveball, but just did get a piece of it to stay alive.
And any pitcher that gives up a home run, if you're a strikeout guy, next time that hitter comes up, you want to strike him out.
You don't want to just get him out, you want to strike him out.
You want to make him look as bad as he's ever looked at taking it at bat.
All right, so he throws that big curveball, and somehow Duffy gets a piece of it. Now what with your Kershaw?
Heat him up on the hands. Cut, back foot slider.
He's staying away from him.
Looked like a little cutter in the outside corner. Well, he's got a changeup. He doesn't throw it very often, but he can throw that at you too. Everything he has, he can strike you out with.
That into the right out over the plate, but low, with the catcher giving the target on the inside.
Kershaw thought he had him. He thought that was right there at the knees.
So it's a 3-2 count for a pitcher who never walks anybody. Struck him out. Nasty. 6 strikeout for Kershaw.
And they're all swing and miss strike threes.
Buster Posey lined out to the right fielder his first time. 2 down, nobody on. Since Duffy's home run in the first inning, Kershaw's faced 9 Giants and retired them all. Duffy's the only Giant to have even reached base so far against Kershaw. Fastball in there for a called strike. It was as if that was the pitch that he just wasn't going to show Buster back in the first inning. He starts him with it here. Just a little bit off the outside.
A little cutter. He didn't miss by much. Kershaw hasn't been in the stretch position. It's been all wind up.
One and two. Buster Posey versus Kershaw. He's had 83 career at bats against him. 18 hits, 2 homers. Curveball right back to Kershaw. Kershaw retires the side in order again. Retired 10 straight Giants. 2-1 LA. On to the 5th inning.
Well, John and Mike talked about who the Giants have drafted, but they've also been signing and acquiring. It's been a very busy week. They signed former Padres outfielder Chris Denorfia to a minor league deal. They acquired Sean Dunston Jr., outfielder from the Cubs, and yes, he is the son of Sean Dunston, part of the coaching staff here with the Giants. And they signed 2014 postseason hero Travis Ishikawa to a minor league deal. Good to have him back, guys.
All right, Amy. A lot of information in that report. Thank you. Has strike one on a foul ball off the bat of Kike Hernandez, who struck out his first time against Cueto. Cueto has retired 11 straight Dodgers as Hernandez leads off with Kershaw on deck. A little bit low there. 1 ball and 1 strike. So Chris Denorfia, we remember him.
Good player.
Long time with the Padres, and he was a guy who oftentimes did very well against the Giants. Good outfielder, speed. 2-1.
Well, he's also a guy that Bruce Bochy knows very well. He played for Bochy when he was managing the Padres. I think he went to camp this year with the Yankees and he had a back problem. That's all ironed out now. So it could wind up being a real nice addition for the Giants.
Sean Dunston Jr., we saw him in spring training very briefly. He's got great speed. Very fast runner. Different kind of a player than his dad.
Well, the speed is that's the thing that I think is the biggest lure. And you start talking about September when you can expand the roster and you just might find a place for that speed.
2-2 the count. Strike 3 called. 1 away. This coming Tuesday with the Brewers in town will be Autism Awareness Night. There's a special event package including a ticket to see the Giants and the Brewskis and a Will Clark Giants long sleeve shirt. Proceeds from every special event ticket will be donated directly to non-profits in the autism community. Visit sfgiants.com/special events. And hope to see you here on Tuesday for a great cause. Clayton Kershaw, ball 1 to him. Quickly, Cueto back to him. And he's behind him 2-0. Kershaw is hitting .206 for the year. 7 hits, 34 at bats, including a double.
Well, if you're hitting 200 as a pitcher, that's like 300 as a hitter. So he definitely has a clue with what he's doing with a bat in his hands.
Hit that one hard, but right to Pat. 2 down.
And at the very least, he got 4 pitches out of it.
13 straight Dodgers retired by Johnny Cueto. 2 down in the inning, and the leadoff man, Chase Utley, will come up. The Giants trailing in this game 2-1 to Kershaw and the Dodgers. The first game of a 3-game weekend series. Tomorrow there'll be no local television. Jeff Samardzija for the Giants against Scott Kazmir. That's a 4:15 first pitch. We'll have that one on the Giants KNBR radio network. That's 0-1 to Utley. Sunday is the nationally televised Sunday night game. So we'll be on radio again. 5:38 local time. First pitch, twilight start, Jake Peavy and Julio Urias. And we're kind of anxious to see Urias, the 19-year-old sensation. There's Peavy. He'll get that call on Sunday. One ball, 1 strike, 2 down, nobody on. And foul along the left field line. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cueto gave up a couple of runs in the first inning. There was a hit batsman, there was a wild pitch, and there was an infield single. Then he got charged for a balk that brought in the first run of the game. It was almost for a while there, if something could go wrong, it was going to go wrong in that first inning.
Box, wild pitches. Yeah, you're right. Swinging bunts. It just sort of all. It was sort of miraculous. He limited the damage to just 2 runs. And I'm sure if you're the Dodgers, you're kind of kicking yourself that you couldn't make a little more out of it.
And then the Giants got one of them right back on a long home run to left field by Matt Duffy. Still 2-1 right now. Both pitchers have really settled in. And Cueto trying to maintain his focus just as he was about to throw that pitch. You hear a lot of cheering in the ballpark.
Well, Utley thought that curveball hit him. And I think it did graze his uniform. Little cutter. Yeah, it does. It does graze the uniform, but that's not something that an umpire can hear. Dodgers are going to look at this.
Yeah, he's going to go to first base. They're going to refer this to the umpires in New York. A replay review has been requested by Dave Roberts, the Dodger manager.
If you're a right-handed pitcher and you're throwing a breaking ball to Chase Utley and you're thinking about a back foot slider or some kind of a breaking ball that goes off the plate down in the dirt in, you better be careful because he walks right into it. Just scrapes the uni, and that's what Utley contended immediately. Now it's not something that DJ Rayburn, the plate umpire, could hear.
Well, maybe they can. They just showed it on the screen in center field. Maybe they can. Maybe the umpires in New York can also make a ruling about that rule that says you're supposed to make an attempt to get out of the way of the ball.
Yeah, as soon as they showed it here at the ballpark, Utley took off for first base.
And he's at first base now, confident that that's what the umpires in New York will also see. Here's the call. Yeah. John Hirschbeck go to first.
Now this is a first inning balk where he's in a 3-2 pitch and he rocks back, and they called a balk on Cueto on this. Something that he's done all year long, and all of a sudden they call a balk on it. And Bill Welke came in and said, it was a stop-start. I don't think it was a good call. If you look at what he's done all year.
I mean, really, you lift a leg in the air. There's plenty of pitchers who lift the leg in the air and then pause with the leg in the air. I mean, are they literally saying that you just can't wiggle your upper body while your leg's in the air? I'm not sure I understand what it was they said he did that was a violation.
Well, the thing is that he's done it all year long. And not that Wilkie or any of these umpires have been following Johnny Cueto. It's the first time they've seen it. They thought it was a balk. They called it. It did come at a very tough time with a runner at third base. You don't ever want to balk in that scenario.
Three and one now. Two down, runner at first. And it's 3-2. On deck is Justin Turner. Corey Seager, and he's been the hot hitter for the Dodgers and one of the hottest in the National League here for the last week or so. Nobody was at first. Well, that's a balk itself, isn't it? When you make a pickoff throw to a base that is unoccupied, nobody's there. You have to throw it to somebody who's at the base or going to the base.
Well, that's just a mental mistake. And that's something you have to cover with your pitcher. If you're a first baseman, say, hey, I'm playing off the bag now with the 3-2 count. You're conceding that he's going to get a start with a 3-2 out situation. He's trying to give himself a little better effort to be able to defend against Seager, the left-handed hitter.
Strike three call to the outside corner. It took a while to get to that third out, but again he did. Brandon Belt will be coming up. Networks, comprehensive security and data protection for private networks and public cloud services.
All right, this Sunday after the Sharks-Penguins hockey game on NBC Bay Area, it's an all-new Bay Area Revelations documentary about how Cal and Stanford went from frontier colleges to world-class institutions. And see how Giants CEO and Cal Berkeley grad Larry Baer landed his first ever major league deal with just $1. You won't want to miss Bay Area Revelations 2 Towers this Sunday after Stanley Cup final game. And you can see it right here on NBC Bay Area.
That's a great local series. Don't miss it. Brandon Belt leads off for the Giants. 2-1. LA leading. Kershaw. And it's 0-1. Belt struck out his first time. The 24th time in 44 at-bats in his career in which he has struck out against Kershaw. Oh, 2.
That's such a big curveball. It's as good as there is. Throws it after a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, and it just never seems to get there.
Utley had the overshift on and went right into the defense. 1 away.
Let me go back to that play that was an error on Cueto. This is the pitch before the 3-2 count. Now, Brandon Belt was covering first. Brandon Belt never lets Cueto know that he's playing back. Cueto never looked over there. He assumed that he would be there. And then in a pickoff attempt, he goes over there. There's no first baseman. Bell has got to let him know that he's playing back.
Strike 1 to Mac Williamson. Brandon Belt put the ball in play that time. A small triumph. 0-2.
Mac Williamson turned around to DJ Rayburn, the plate umpire, and asked him if that last fastball was a strike. Rayburn shook his head. Nope.
Off Kershaw. The throw, not nearly in time, and it's a wild throw. Williamson will be awarded second base as the ball goes out of play. And suddenly the great young Dodger rising star, Corey Seager, looked like a rookie.
Well, it's a rookie mistake. I mean, you have to know when to make a throw, when not to make a throw. And he's just trying to make something out of nothing right here. And he's playing back, and you have to know that Mac Williamson can get down that line pretty well. And we saw him buy the bag. It's just a throw that he probably should have just taken a bite out of instead of making.
I mean, he really did not have a prayer of throwing him out, as you can see very clearly right there. So now with 1 out, the Giants have a runner in scoring position, and Clayton Kershaw will work from the stretch for the first time in this game. Brandon Crawford will try and knock in the tying run.
Take advantage of the first 90-foot mistake the Dodgers have made.
On 1.
Let's talk about the longer it takes you to get into your stretch, the longer it takes to find a feel of that release out of the stretch. And that first pitch fastball didn't look like it really had much effect on Kershaw.
Two quick strikes to Brandon Crawford. Crawford has only 1 hit in 22 lifetime at bats versus Kershaw, and 10 of those 22 have ended up with a strikeout. 2 quick strikes on him here. Another lefty, the rookie Jarrett Parker, on deck. Just off the outside. Try to tantalize him with that one. 1-2. We're in the 5th inning. The Giants are trailing 2-1. Brandon Crawford fan sitting next to or very close to a Kershaw fan. Giants' first plate appearance with a runner in scoring position tonight. In the dirt, and Williamson is the catcher. Grandal did a nice job keeping the ball in front of him. Holds it second. You know, this is actually the first at bat with a runner in scoring position the Giants have had in the last 2 games. They never did have one of these kind of at bats against David Price Wednesday night. Giants hit 2 solo homers Wednesday night and won the game 2-1. They've hit a solo homer tonight, trailing 2-1 here in the 5th. Williamson at second with the infield hit plus the throwing error. Slow chop. Utley in a hurry. He does not throw it. An infield hit for Crawford. The Giants have the ground game going.
The ground attack is full force right now. And Utley, who's been around this game a long time, since there may be a better opportunity at third base than at first base. high chopper. Once it got over the head of Kershaw, it was going to be a tough play to get an out at first base for Utley. He comes in. I think he's thinking third base the whole way. I think he had a chance. But he immediately, with the fake pump, looked right over to third base thinking that maybe Mac Williamson would overrun the bag. He did not.
He may have outsmarted himself there. So here is Jarrett Parker. And he doesn't necessarily need a hit to knock in a run. One of those real slow ground balls would work well, or a well-hit fly ball.
Yeah, swing and bunt, absolutely. Pure strikeout situation here.
Strike one called. As that pitch was being thrown by Kershaw, the third baseman, Justin Turner, broke toward third base as if some kind of a pickoff was in play over there.
Oh yes, Manny Grandal, the catcher for the Dodgers, he's got a great arm, and he's not afraid to throw to any base.
One ball, one strike. Another curveball.
Not an easy take right there.
So Kershaw, for the first time tonight, he's in a tight spot. A possible tying run is at third base. A fast runner over there, Mac Williamson. He's a great big guy, but he runs well. And Brandon Crawford over at first. The middle infield, double play depth for the Dodgers. Parker struck out his first time. Blew it right by him.
Outside paint, 93. And if you're Parker, it's normally you're thinking it's a fly ball situation. Best arm the Dodgers have in left field with Kike Hernandez. And right now, you're just thinking contact. Put the ball in play.
Johnny Cueto, the pitcher, is on deck. 2-1. The Dodgers are leading. Last of the fifth inning. The Giants with their best threat of the night. First and third, one out. Back to the bag at first, Brandon Crawford. And the Dodgers know that other things could be put in play here. Well, Crawford might take off for second base. Do you throw through? Do you put some kind of a play on to try and keep that runner from third from breaking for the plate to steal home? If they do. 1-2 the count. Curveball struck him out.
So the payoff pitch, it's a big arcing curveball. And it's not a slow arc either. It's got snap on the end of it, right? It gets up to the home plate. I mean, it just seems it's a spin on that ball you can hear in the batter's box.
And Spotty Grandal steps out in front of the plate, starts flashing some signs to the Dodger infielders. Johnny Cueto stands in.
If you're Cueto, be ready for a fastball. It's not the time to take his fastball. It's the time to jump on the first thing you see you can hit.
Fastball, and he jumped on it, but Chase Utley, and that's the inning. Kershaw gets out of it. Still 2-1 Dodgers. Turner, Gonzalez, Thompson coming up against Cueto. Toyota. Toyota's Cool Deal Summer event is here. See your local dealer for great savings on every dependable Toyota car, SUV, and truck. Hurry in before these deals melt away. Toyota, let's go places.
Well, for comprehensive coverage of everything orange and black, check out pregame live and postgame live before and after every regular season Giants telecast on CSN Bay Area, authentic Bay Area sports. Well, they have California pretty much covered. The Angels, the Dodgers, the Giants, the A's.
Now that's a picture, isn't it?
That's a good bunch right there.
Wait, there's no Padre fans here?
Yeah, come on.
0-1 the count to Turner. Angels, Dodgers, so SoCal on the left and NorCal on the right with the Giants and the A's. The timeout was granted, and Cueto was already into his motion. Justin Turner. A ball and a strike. Turner has struck out and lined out. He hit a line drive, but right to the second baseman. Panicked his last time. Dodgers lead 2-1. Each team with 3 hits in the game. Brandon Crawford on the high hop. 1 away.
Pitch count is going to be very, very important in this ball game. Both pitchers have been pretty good about the amount of throws they've made in this game. So quick outs essential, and they just got one there from Turner. A quick out is 3 pitches or less.
Adrian Gonzalez, who knocked in a run for the Dodgers with a base hit to right in the first inning. And that spins in there for a called strike. He struck out in the 3rd inning. Dodgers have only had 1 base runner since the 1st inning. And that was Chase Utley, who got hit by the pitch. One ball and 1 strike now. Trace Thompson is on deck. There is Brandon Crawford. 2 down. Always a good strategy if you're a Giants pitcher. Make him hit it to Crawford.
Well, yeah, that'd be the goal. 27 times if you can do it. That wasn't that easy of a play. I mean, it had some weird spin on it. Hit right off the end of the bat.
Trace Thompson lined a single to right his first time, flied out to shallow left in the 4th. He's 1 for 2. Tall, not quite as tall as his brother Clay. And it's off the inside for ball 1. Trace Thompson had been with the Chicago White Sox and was part of a 3-team deal that had him come to LA. The Dodgers are glad to have him. Along the right field line, long run for Parker, and it's into the bullpen. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tail of the tape. Clay is 6'7", Trace 6'3". They weigh about the same. Both from Southern California. And Clay Thompson got drafted by the Warriors in 2011. Trace Thompson into baseball 2009. Off to the right, out of play.
You look at Thompson, because of his height, 6'3", you think immediately you can get inside to him. But if you go back and look at his hot streak the last couple weeks, I mean, he's killing that pitch.
Changed up. And that is a 3-up, 3-down inning. 6 strong in the books now for Johnny Cueto. 2-1 the Dodgers lead. Top of the order coming up for the Giants.
AT&T Park. I'm very happy to report that all went well for Hunter Pence, who underwent surgery yesterday. But don't take it from me. You can take it from him. He put it on Instagram immediately following when he woke up from surgery. 2 thumbs up. I'm okay. And he was in very good hands. Behind him there is the assistant athletic trainer, Anthony Reyes. He saw the doctor this morning in Texas for a checkup. He is on his way back to San Francisco right now. He's flying back tonight, and he will join his teammates tomorrow. Gentlemen.
Amy, thanks for that update. Hunter Pence, as always, he always sees the silver lining in everything. There's a called strike to Denard Span. Span has struck out and flied out to left against Clayton Kershaw. He's still looking for his first ever hit against Kershaw, although he's sort of new to the game against Kershaw. 0 for 11 lifetime. Will he swing? No, says John Hirschbeck.
They got a break there. Take a look from the side. Yeah, could have gone either way. More strike than ball. Just the way he reacted to it, he's just not seeing the spin on the slider, on the cutter.
Over to the Dodger dugout.
And it's really a scary situation when you're a hitter, when you have a guy there on the mound who can combine deception with power. And there aren't many guys that are like that. Kershaw just does not give you enough time to react. It's a power arm with deception and pinpoint control.
Back to the curveball, but he dropped it in front of the plate that time. 2-2. He's had 7 strikeouts, has not walked anybody, although that's hardly news. He's walked 6 all year in 97 2/3 innings. So he gives up about 1 walk every 16 1/3 innings or so. Fastball right down the middle and 1 away. 8 strikeouts.
Well, the Giants home game schedule brought to you by the California Association of Realtors, Champions of Home. Visit championsofhome.com.
Giants and Dodgers 4:15 tomorrow. After 5:30 on Sunday, the nationally televised game. Both games are on national TV. And then Monday the Brewers come in. Monday night, Tuesday night, and the day game on Wednesday before the Giants head east. Strike 1 to Joe Panic, who was lined out to center, and 90% of the first pitches to batters have been strikes tonight for Kershaw. Even by his standards, that's a great night.
Well, the old saying in baseball, I mean, you win the battle of the ones. The first strike of the at-bat, you get the first out of an inning, you score the first run of a game. I mean, you do that consistently, you're going to have a good year.
And the big curveball in the dirt. 1-2. Matt Duffy, who has accounted for the Giants' only run with a long home run back in the first inning, is on deck.
He's about due to hit another one, isn't he?
Well, he hadn't hit one since the first. Back with the fastball, and that is low. 2-2. That is going to go into right field. Base hit.
Well, we haven't seen many location mistakes really all night long from Kershaw, but when he gives it to you, you have to be in position to take it, and this was a mistake. They set the target up down the outside corner at the knees and just sort of left a little breaking ball. That's a slider. right out over the middle of the play at the belt, and Panik was right there to take advantage of the mistake.
Joe Panik with his 4th hit in 14 career at bats against Kershaw. Now Matt Duffy, who homered to left in the 1st inning, struck out in the 4th. Too low. 1 ball, no strikes. Giants now with 4 hits against Kershaw. Panik's is the first single to actually go outside of the infield. The 2 infield singles in the 5th inning, and now it's 2-0 to Duffy.
Now in count leverage. I mean, it just hasn't happened that Giants have had that many great hitting counts against Kershaw. They've got one now.
21st hitter faced by Kershaw. Only the 3rd that he did not start ahead of with the first pitch strike. 2-0 the count now. Popped up and out of play. Gonzalez came over.
This was a home run in the 1st inning. Fastball, he tried to set an inside target, leaked out over the plate just a little bit. And after the Giants had given up 2 runs at the top of the 1st, this is how they responded with the solo shot, got everybody into it. And after that, it has been a flat-out, good old-fashioned pitching duel between Johnny Cueto and Clayton Kershaw.
Two and 1 the count. Panik at first, 1 out. And that is out of play. And you can hear a lot of noise in the ballpark here. And they're starting to chant Warriors. Over in Oracle Arena, there's a big crowd inside there watching it on television. The Warriors have defeated Cleveland and have taken a 3-1 lead in the NBA Finals. Caught by Chase Utley. Too late to double up Joe Panik. And everything was to the inside there to Matt Duffy. So, with a Giants and Dodgers battle going on here, and a good one, the Bay Area is just awash in big sporting events tonight. Buster Posey, 0 for 2 in the game. Strike 1.
He was trying to put one in the bleachers, give his team a 1-run lead. That swing there had some greed behind it. And really, I mean, that kind of is the philosophy against Kershaw. With his ratio of first pitch strikes tonight, why not? Get up there and look for a pitch, look for a location.
In the dirt with the curveball, blocked by Grandal. That's a big block with a 1-run lead. Keeping Panik at first, not letting him get into scoring position. Buster Posey, who had not played since last Saturday, and the Giants were still on their road trip. That ball is hit well. Deep left center field. Way back there. It is off the base of the wall. Here comes Panik racing around third, and it's tied up. Buster Posey. And a similar kind of a pitch to that first pitch strike that he swung at and missed.
Little cutter tries to run it inside, and he opens up his stride looking for it. Watch the left foot clear. Stays inside it, finds a gap in the left center field. And with 2 outs and a head start on contact, an easy score for Joe Panik all the way from first. And we get a brand new ball game.
Now that is a great hitter. Some great hitting by Buster Posey.
Well, you mentioned earlier that he's got 84 at bats lifetime against them. He's got an idea what to look for. And here he guesses right. And with 2 outs, you know that runner's going to get a good jump. Just money hitting.
Now, Brandon Belt, who's had only 3 hits in his career against Kershaw in 45 at bats, is in a spot where a base hit could put the Giants ahead. And the Dodger outfield is playing very deep for Belt. Too low. Look how deep they are all around the outfield, especially Jock Peterson in center. The right fielder, Thompson, is trying to plug up that big gap toward the 421 marker. Way off the line. Belt has struck out and grounded out in this game. 1-1. Two to two, last of the 6th. The Dodgers, who jumped ahead right away with 1 out in the first inning. They had 2 runs on the board. Johnny Cueto got through it, has not allowed a hit since then. The Giants got 1 back in the first and now have tied it here in the 6th. 2 down, Posey at second. Back into the second deck. Strike 2.
Yeah, we got a man making a play. He brought his glove. Got his quad candlesticks on his hat. It's a gamer right there. This ain't his first game. That a bit.
He may not have caught that many foul balls, though. Wow. After all those years, he got one. 1-2. Posey leads away from second. Kershaw ready. The curveball taken in the dirt.
Yeah, great pitch. 1-2. He had a chance to take that big arcing snapping curveball. I mean, that almost sounds like a contradiction. An arcing snap to a curveball, but that's exactly what Kershaw's pitch is. And with a 1-2 count, he's going to go down in the dirt, and it's tough to lay off him because of the size of that breaking ball. It was a good take. And not an easy one.
This will be the 23rd pitch of this inning thrown by Kershaw, his first high stress inning of the night. 2-2. Fastball, he blew it right by him, following up that slow curveball. So the Giants have tied the game. Panik a 1-out single, and then Buster Posey blasts one off the wall in deep left center, and Panik never moved faster. It's 2-2 heading to the late innings. by the Monterey Bay Aquarium. Submerge yourself at MontereyBayAquarium.org/love. Got some aquarium action going on right out there in McCovey Cove, it looks like.
Oh, yeah.
Here's Jock Peterson, 7th inning now. And the Giants and Dodgers are tied at 2. The Giants have played catch up against Kershaw, and they have caught him. Now the Dodgers try and get something going against Cueto. They've not been able to since the 1st inning. Giants have 3 infielders to the right of 2nd. Duffy stays in at 3rd. Not right at 3rd base, but into enough to try to discourage a bunt attempt over there by Jock Peterson, who twice has grounded out into the Giants defense. 2-0 the count to him, though. High in the air along the left field line. Mac Williamson. One away.
Well, check out the July 4th Family 4-pack presented by Chevron. Pack includes 4 tickets to the July 4th game against the Colorado Rockies, plus a $25 Chevron gas card starting at just $99 while the supplies last. You want more information? Go to sfgiants.com/July 4.
Yasmani Grandal, switch hitter, batting left-handed. 1 ball and no strikes. Grandal has grounded out to 1st and fouled out to 3rd. Giants aren't completely overloaded on the right side, but they are playing him to pull big time. And Panic is out in shallow right field. That's right through there for a called strike.
You know, it's just not many guys can do that. He's behind the count 1-0. He wants to throw a fastball to a guy who's looking fastball, and you take away his count advantage as a hitter because you quit pitching. And that is the genius of what Johnny Cueto does. He can upset your timing with his motion as well as with the stuff he throws you.
That's a foul tip. 2-2.
And there's nobody else in the league that's doing this. There are guys that quick pitch, but there aren't guys that can give you as many different looks out of the windup. And I think that is what sets him completely apart from the rest of the herd as they celebrate at Oracle.
The Warriors they come home for game 5 with a chance to clinch it right here. That's just off the outside. I think he reached back for a little extra. You talked about this at the beginning of the telecast, how all of a sudden in the late innings he's got 94 and 95.
And it seems to always come in a 2-strike count where he reaches back to get it.
There is Denard Span. That ball was hit hard, and Span started one way, then had to go back on it, but he caught up to it. 2 down.
I think that ball knuckled on him, John. I mean, that's really a nightmare. You consider this ball is probably coming off the bat over 100 miles an hour, and it's got knuckling action. No spin on the ball, and you don't know what it's going to do.
So 2 down. Hard hit ball for Grandal, but into and out. Frustration for him and the Dodgers. So here is Kike Hernandez, ball 1. He has struck out twice in this game. Two down, nobody on. Just off the inside.
And now Hernandez has some count leverage, and he will definitely get long here. He'll try and knock one out.
And he has a lot of power. Johnny Cueto will cut right off the end of the bat. 2-1.
Perfect location. Looks like he steps out. Something didn't hurt there around the oblique area.
Right in there. No, although that's not where Buster Posey's target was. 2-2 the count. And he seems like he's still hurting.
Yeah, just a hanging slider. Sometimes that can be a great pitch.
2-2.
I mean, try that at home. Try doing the Johnny Cueto windup where you stand on your back leg and you do the shimmy. Let's see how many times you can do that before you fall down. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not that easy.
3-2 now. With 2 down and nobody on. Kershaw on deck. That's a foul ball. That ball was about ankle high and he hit it hard.
I think guys with reputations for throwing strikes, I mean, they get guys to swing and protect situations. Hernandez has 2 strikes on him. He's going to protect, and they'll assume you're going to be closer to the strike zone. They'll go out and chase.
Struck him out. 20 of the last 21 Dodgers retired now by Johnny Cueto. 2-2. Williamson and Brandon Crawford coming up. Oak Casino Resort, your perfect weekend getaway with luxury rooms, fine dining, live music, plus a family fun floor with bowling and arcade. Book now at blackoakcasino.com.
CSN Bay Area has complete Giants coverage on Sportsnet Central every night at 10:30 p.m. CSN, authentic Bay Area sports. Lots to talk about tonight.
Well, one Bay Area team has already given Bay Area fans cause to celebrate. The Warriors with a big win against the Cleveland Cavaliers to really take control of that series 3-1 and to bring it back here to the Bay Area with a chance to clinch their 2nd straight NBA title. The Giants, meanwhile, facing their longtime rivals, the Dodgers, and they were trailing 2-0 before they ever came to bat. Is that depressing? You're facing Kershaw, so kind of a downer.
It does put evil thoughts in your mind.
But they got a run back in their half of the first on a Duffy homer right away. And then they tied the game on a Buster Posey double in the 6th. 2-2 last of the 7th. Williamson hits that one sharply. Foul. Another off-speed pitch. Williamson got an infield hit his last time. Giants have 5 hits all told against Kershaw. 2 of them were infield hits in succession back in the 5th inning. This is a guy with lots of power, Mac Williamson. Just off the outside. The Dodgers appeal for a check swing, but no. 1-2. Williamson, of course, hit one against the outstanding Red Sox lefty David Price here in the 8th inning on Wednesday. And the curveball puts him away. Ten strikeouts for Kershaw. No walks. There's not been a walk in this game tonight, either by Kershaw or Cueto. Cueto's got 8 strikeouts. No walks. So here's Brandon Crawford. Cueto's allowed 3 hits. The Giants have 5 hits against Kershaw, including an infield hit for Brandon Crawford in the 5th inning. He struck out his first time. That's hit well. Peterson going back at the warning track, right at the wall. Two down.
Wow. About 398 feet away. Well, you always know when you're a power arm like Kershaw, you're going to supply some power. And if a good swing meets the power, you're got a good chance to see that ball travel. And this takes it right to 399 side. That's the look of relief. And Brandon Crawford heads back to the Giants dugout thinking, I just missed that one.
And here comes Jarrett Parker, who has struck out twice in this game. Cueto's due up next, and the Giants bullpen has gotten busy. There's ball 1 to Parker. Josh Osich is up with Mark Gardner, the former Giants pitcher, now the bullpen coach, out there with him. 1-1. And I think that's Ramiro Pena has gone out into the on-deck circle for the Giants. Cueto's only thrown 101 pitches. I say only, through 7 innings. He just had a very strong 7th inning. 1-2.
And there's Pena.
The big curve in the dirt. Taken for a ball, 2-2. Parker struck out with runners at first and third and 1 out in the 5th inning. A tough assignment, whether you're a rookie or a veteran with a lot of time. When you're a left-handed hitter facing Kershaw, that is a tough assignment, as tough as it gets. He had a pretty good rip at that one. Back to the screen.
And he is absolutely a home run threat at a 2-strike count. You're watching Josh Osich down in the Giants bullpen warm up. He's just kind of slowly getting after it. If the inning ends here, Johnny Cueto's going back out on the mound. If Pena hits, then you're going to see Osich, and he'll tune it up a bit.
Well, he's gotten the count full now, 3-2. Last year we saw Parker hit a grand slam against a left-hander. And that's it. A fastball over the plate, down around the knees, maybe even below the knees. 11 strikeouts for Kershaw. Still 2-2. On to the 8th. Kershaw coming up.
as we enter the top of the 8th inning. Giants, Dodgers, 2-2. All right, Giants fans, listen up, because this is for you. You have a chance to get some great memorabilia. If you love the Giants, you got to check out the Giants annual Wives Auction. It's going on right now. It'll be happening tomorrow as well here at the park. From gates open until 4th inning, you can go by the community clubhouse and bid on the players' favorite things baskets. A ton of them participated. Their wives helped out a lot. Each basket a reflection of the player. If you can't get to the park, you can go online, jrgiants.org, and bid on all kinds of experiences and memorabilia, but you can't bid on the basket. So if you're coming to the game tomorrow, check it out. Giants Community Clubhouse. John and Mike, are you going to bid?
Well, only if they have Cheetos.
Of course they have Cheetos. Come on.
Then we're bidding, partner.
0-2 to Kershaw, and Cueto's in the dirt. Top of the order to follow, Utley and then Seager. Kershaw has struck out and grounded out to second in this game. 2-2 the score. Josh Osich, a lefty, up in the Giants bullpen. A couple of lefties coming up after Kershaw. He backdoored him with that slider, and he missed with it. 2-2.
Well, the Cueto hair is starting to take over the ballpark here.
Brandon Belt backs up, gets the hop. Cueto covering. One away in the 8th inning.
It has been a good old-fashioned duel. Let's compare how they've done through 7. 3 hits allowed by Cueto, 5 hits allowed by Kershaw, 11 strikeouts against 8 strikeouts, no walks in the game. Both guys have given up a couple runs. They have been masterful. Cueto has retired 21 of the last 22. It just has been a joy to watch these two guys go at each other. So I'm thinking that the dreadlocks are going to happen here. What do you think, partner?
I don't see it. Well, maybe you're right. There's a called strike to Chase Utley. I'm never good at predicting that kind of stuff.
Well, I mean, it's
because you and I, we're not people who just jump on the bandwagon. Crawford shows out Utley. 2 down. Johnny Cueto working here in the 8th inning in a 2-2 game.
But I'm just thinking it's a good look. It is. You should think about it.
I'm willing to give it a shot.
You know, serious business. All these years.
Finally,
I'm in.
I found something that you like.
Yeah, that's a good one right there.
My Rastafarian look. Here's Corey Seager, the Dodgers home run leader, and he's hit 5 homers in the last 7 games. Tonight he's had an infield hit and scored a run, grounded out to second, and been called out on strikes. He's 1 for 3. 2-0.
Yeah, he's goosed a couple of those off-speed pitches, and he knows it. Sometimes you try to speed up your motion just a little bit too much. You fly that front shoulder, you drag your arm, and you miss high. This is not the time of the game to be missing high, though. Not in a tie ball game. Not to a guy who's locked and loaded with home run confidence in that batter's box right now, like Seager has.
A foul ball right past first base coach George Lombard. 2-1. 4:15 game time tomorrow. Samardzija for the Giants against Kazmir, and then the 5:38 p.m. start on Sunday. Jake Peavy and Julio Urias. At the knees, strike 2 call.
2-1 paint at 91 miles an hour.
Nope.
Yeah, I think Cueto knows the pitch count's working against him. If he allows a base runner here, he's probably going to be out of this game.
Corey Guerin, the right-hander. Javier Lopez, the lefty, up in the bullpen. Justin Turner, right-handed hitter, on deck. Along the left field line, there's Mac Williamson. He's got plenty of room. And the side is retired. 8 strong for Johnny Cueto. He has retired 23 of the last 24 Dodgers. And a standing ovation as he heads off the field. Area and the Giants television network Monday night at 7 o'clock with the Giants and the Brewers from right here at AT&T Park. Tune in to CSN Bay Area Tuesday night at 6:30 for Giants pregame live before Game 2 of the Giants Brewers series. So network television both tomorrow and Sunday will be on the Giants KMBR radio network both tomorrow and Sunday. Johnny Cueto, he got a huge ovation for this crowd when he walked off the mound after the 8th inning.
Deservedly. Brilliant tonight. 8 strong, 3 hits allowed, couple earned runs, no walks, and 8 strikeouts.
But now that Trevor Brown has been brought up here, timeout taken, and Rick Honeycutt goes out to the mound, the Dodger pitching coach.
Well, I think they just want to go over as to how they want to get after Trevor Brown. There's no way Kershaw's coming out of this game. There's nobody even getting loose in the Dodger pen, so it has to be just a little scout report.
When's the last time you saw a guy go out before the first pitch of the inning? He got a visit to the mound.
I can't remember.
So Trevor Brown has hit 4 home runs this year. 0-1.
He's just setting him up with that swing.
Back on April the 8th. Brown hit one here against the Dodgers. And that was in the last of the 8th inning. That was the first hit of the night for the Giants. He hit it against Chris Hatcher, the relief pitcher, who inherited a no-hitter from Ross Stripling with a man aboard. And the Dodgers were leading 2-0, and Brown tied the game with that 2-run homer, his first major league homer. Curve is in the dirt. Pitch number 102. Thrown by Kershaw. Brown pinch hitting for Cueto, who's finished 8 innings, 2 runs, 3 hits allowed, 8 strikeouts, no walks, although he hit a couple of batters. You know, he hit one guy twice, Chase Utley. And another one of those cutters for the strikeout.
Yeah, he saw nothing straight in that at bat. Just a lot of breaking stuff.
12 strikeouts for Kershaw.
12 strikeouts for Kershaw. 11 of them were swing and miss strike threes. Johnny Cueto, 8 strikeouts against no walks, and retired 23 of the last 24. Both guys just dealt tonight. Absolutely dealt.
2-2, last of the 8th. Denard Span 0 for 3. Twice has struck out. He was the one guy called out on strikes. That was back in the 6th inning. Still looking for his first ever hit against Clayton Kershaw. Giants with a 4-game lead over the Dodgers in the National League West at the start of the day. Colorado 7.5 out. Colorado lost tonight at home to San Diego. And that's tap foul, strike 2. The Arizona Diamondbacks 10.5 out at the start of the night are playing at home against Miami. And they are trailing 8-6 in the top of the 8th inning at home, where they have done very poorly. Remarkably, Arizona's home record, their home record, 10 wins and 22 losses.
That's amazing. With that team, that just, you can't explain that.
Oh, and 2 the count. Curveball for the strikeout. 13 Giants have been rung up by Clayton Kershaw. 3 times it's been Denard Span. So here comes Joe Panik. Panik got the 1-out single in the 6th inning that led to the tying run of the game. With 2 down, he was still at first, and Buster Posey hit a long double off the base of the wall out in very deep left center field, and Panik scored from first. Ball 1. And look at Kershaw berating himself out there for missing with the first pitch.
Well, he was 4 inches off the plate away. He was not happy with that.
You do better than that, Clayton.
He was doing the same thing warming up before the game today.
Peterson going back. Now he squares up right on the edge of the track. And now to the 9th inning. The Giants will go to their bullpen with Turner, Gonzalez, Thompson coming up. The group of the Angels and Dodger fans, Southern California teams, and the Giants and A's fans, all sitting side by side and SoCal on the left, NorCal on the right.
Well, and the girl in the A's hat is Mark Kotsay's niece.
Mark Kotsay, a longtime major league player, now a coach with the A's.
And the A's are in Cincinnati, and a lot of the guys are watching the game, and Mark Kotsay saw his niece. Immediately notified Glenn Kuiper, who texted us. So, you know, they can't leave early now, or we're going to have to be on Kotsay. Doesn't look like they're leaving early, gamers. Santiago Casilla, the new pitcher now for Bruce Bochy. The closer coming in to pitch the 9th in a tie game.
Just off the outside. Oakland played in Cincinnati tonight and lost 2-1. There haven't been too many 2-1 games in Cincinnati this year.
The Great American Ballpark gives up more home runs than any other ballpark in baseball.
They kept Adam Duvall in the yard, though, the former Giant. That's a foul. 1-1 to Turner, who has struck out Lined out to second and grounded out to short. 0 for 3. 2-2, ninth inning. The power's up with the Dodgers. The 3, 4, 5 spots. Adrian Gonzalez, the cleanup hitter, on deck, and then Trace Thompson, 2 up, third in the inning. Two and 1. Stephen Vogt, by the way, did hit a home run for Oakland tonight for the only Oakland run. Anthony DeSclafani, hard throwing right-handed, made his first start of the year just off the disabled list for the Reds. That's the final on the hand operated out of town scoreboard here at AT&T Park. That is hit well deep to left field. It is gone. A leadoff homer for Justin Turner, and the Dodgers have taken a 3-2 lead. That is the 4th home run allowed this year by Casilla in 23 1/3 innings.
Just a hanging slider. Middle in right at the belt. I mean, that's got hit me written all over it, and he backspins it right over the wall. He gets carried. And even on a night where it's tough to hit home runs, he clears out of here. And immediately when that ball went in the bleachers, Kenley Jansen, the closer for the Dodgers, got up and started throwing in the bullpen for the Dodgers.
Justin Turner. That's his 2nd home run in just the last few days. 0-2 to Gonzalez. Only his 5th home run this year. First extra base hit of the game for LA. And he chased. 1 away.
You don't see Adrian Gonzalez taking the swings like that. I mean, you look at Justin Turner's numbers. He's at 220, at 21 RBI. I bet every one of those 21 RBIs means something. I mean, he's that kind of hitter. He gets big RBIs, and that certainly was a big RBI. Knocks himself in.
Strike 1 to Trace Thompson. Bruce Bochy will have Matt Duffy, Buster Posey, and Brandon Belt due up in the last of the 9th. Just off the outside. A ball and a strike. One hop, Joe Panic. And Thompson, who moves well, is at number 2. He's 1 for 4 in the game. And Jock Peterson will come up. There is Kenley Jansen, the Dodgers' big closer.
Great adjustment.
Jock Peterson 0 for 3 in the game. Giants going to the overshift for him. Justin Turner has always hit well against the Giants. Into the seam of the defense, base hit, and he's going to go for second base, and he makes it.
And that's a big play, that extra 90 feet. Being just past Crawford, just past Panic. And Peterson with great speed, never slowed down. I mean, this is an aggressive play right here, and a big play.
It's the 13th double of the year for Jock Peterson, and here comes Yasmani Grandal, and there's a runner in scoring position thanks to the hustle of Jock Peterson. And there's ball one. 3-2 LA, and the Dodgers taking the lead on the home run by that man, Justin Turner, who in his last 15 games against the Giants now has 4 homers and 10 RBIs. That curveball in there for a strike. Grandal is 0 for 3 in the game. He hit the ball very hard as last time as Derek Law runs down to the bullpen. Grandal lined one hard, but right to Span in center field. Crawford plays him right up the middle. Did he swing?
Yes, he did.
Plate umpire DJ Rayburn made the call himself. Diamondbacks are down 8-6 to Miami at the end of 8 now in Arizona. Here's Parker. That ball was hit hard. The Dodgers have gone back ahead. Duffy, Posey, and Brandon Belt coming up. Jansen apparently coming in. The line score, the game totals up till now as we go to the last half of the 9th inning, 3-2. The Dodgers leading the Giants. And Kenley Jansen is on to pitch for LA. The big closer, and Mike, he's tough to hit.
Well, he is tough to hit. Strikeouts 24 and 23 innings. We've seen it at times where he's been almost averaging 2 strikeouts a inning. That's how good his stuff has been. His stuff, really, it's a cutter. I mean, he's got a fastball. He can go 2 things with it, but he's got a slider and a changeup even. But you're hitting off Jansen, you look for a cutter. You're looking for a low 90s cut. It's going to run away from a righty into a lefty, and he is going to cut you to death. Cut, cut, cut.
He's only allowed 11 hits in 23 innings. That's foul off to the right by Matt Duffy, who homered in the first inning against Kershaw. Since then has struck out and lined out to the second baseman. Jansen has had 16 saves this year. On 2. He's had 2 blown saves. Batting average against him is 145 so far this year. 0-2. High and tight.
Has given up 2 home runs. So it's within his skill set to give one up, if you're thinking in a very positive way. And this is the part of the lineup where the Giants can do that.
Buster Posey on deck. Turner, the third baseman, is hugging the line, or shading toward the line anyway, to try to protect against an extra base hit. The outfield is very deep. Popped up. Shallow right. Trace Thompson. One away. Now Posey. Buster got the big hit. Big at the time. In the 6th inning, the Giants down by a run with 2 down. He blasted one out into deep left center, well to the right, out where that Yahoo sign is, and hit the base of the wall. And Joe Panic scored all the way from first on that double to tie the game. And Buster is 1 for 3. Right center field. Thompson back in the big gap. He's there. He leaps. He's got it.
Wow. Buster Posey just got AT&T'd. Just a little cutter that he thinks right center field gap, stays inside it, head down beautifully. Now it's a matter of measure as you run down that first base line. Did you get it enough? Will the backspin carry? And no. Not in this ballpark. Not tonight.
Two down, and Brandon Belt, last chance for the Giants. The Dodgers going to the overshift. Turner remains near third. Belt base hit down the right field line. Thompson plays the carom. Belt with a stand-up double. And Gregor Blanco will go up as a pinch hitter for Mac Williamson.
See so many right fielders cheat off the line here in this ballpark to play towards right center field gap to protect Triple's alley. When you do get a ball that is hit to pretty much straightaway right field, I mean, you really open yourself up for what should be a single can become a double, and in a one-run ball game that may be a significant play. Now it's up to Gregor Blanco to make it count.
Blanco, who has been bothered with some pain in his right shoulder for about the last month, and finally it kind of locked up on him where he couldn't even swing the bat. But he's up there now. He said before the game it feels much better. He's got a full range of motion back again with the right arm. So here he is as the fans create an orange blizzard here on Orange Friday. Too high. A base hit could tie this game. And Mike, as you have mentioned a couple of times tonight, there's some good arms in that Dodger outfield.
Well, especially in left field with Kike Hernandez, and even with Peterson doesn't have a blazer. He's a good assist arm, as is Trace Thompson.
Belt, the possible tying run at second. 2 down. Almost a wild pitch. 2-0. Well, the last 2 hitters, Posey and Bell, both hit the ball very hard against Kenley Jansen. Buster for a long out, and Belt for a double. And now he's been nowhere near the strike zone with 2 straight pitches to Gregor Blanco. The fans, everybody's standing, waving those rally towels. He didn't finesse him on that one.
No, he's not gonna. A 2-0 count. You think that a hitter has count leverage, but when you're talking about a mid-90s cut, it's just not an easy pitch to hit. What the cut fastball will do, if you're hitting it from the left side against Jansen, is it's going to run flat. The break on it is is not even a big break. It's about 3 inches. But it's enough. It's enough to get you off the ball. And it's enough to get it off the sweet spot.
Blanco is 2 for 4 with 2 walks in the few times he's been up there against Jansen in the past. So he's done well against him. Ball 3.
Well, those are easy takes.
Brandon Crawford awaiting a possible turn on deck. Three and 1 to Gregor Blanco. Three and 2.
Blanco turned around and looked at DJ Rayburn, the plate umpire, and asked if that was a strike. Rayburn said yes, it was. But think about it, Jansen. I mean, you're not even thinking about any other pitch, and that's what makes him unique. Even when you know it's coming, it's not easy to square up.
Giants fans trying to create a base hit here from Gregor Blanco, almost just through the sheer force of their will. Belt at second. It's high and tight. He walked him. That is the first walk of the game by any pitcher. So now the possible tying run is at second, and the possible winning run at first. Brandon Crawford will try and get something done here. He had a big hit against the Dodgers in the rain back on April the 8th here.
Well, he broke up a tie ball game with an opposite field home run off Joe Blanton. And right now, Bruce Bochy's got to be thrilled that Brandon Crawford's going to get this opportunity. He's had a good act going for 2 weeks. He's been on everything.
Rick Honeycutt, the pitching coach, out to talk to Jansen. Well, 2 straight hitters clobbered the ball against him. Posey for a very long out. It would have been a home run in a lot of ballparks. And then the double from Brandon Belt, a line drive. And then the walk. He was all over the place to Gregor Blanco. Honeycutt back to the dugout, and here comes Brandon Crawford. He's had 1 hit in 3 at-bats, and he hit a deep fly ball that was caught right in front of the 399 marker his last time. That was against Kershaw. Belt at second. Blanco at first. Both ready to run at the crack of the bat with 2 down. Just off the outside.
And the Dodgers take away Triple's alley, and they expose the right and right field. The line is wide open. And with 2 outs, you've got pretty good speed for a big man at second with Brandon Belt, but great speed with Blanco at first. Not close. Easy takes.
Since those 2 hard hit balls by Posey and Belt, Belt's for a double, he has missed the strike zone with 6 of the subsequent 8 pitches.
Well, I think he knows that Crawford has had a good swing coming into this series. And they also have a guy on deck that does not have the same reputation that Crawford has with Jared Parker. He's got a base to put him.
Oh, he got the call on that one. Well away from the target of Grandal. There's Jared Parker on deck. Center stage right now, though, Brandon Crawford with a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Everybody standing here at AT&T Park, or nearly everybody. 3-1.
Easy take. The way he's going at him leads me to believe that he's not going to give him anything to hit. He's going to use that open third base.
And that is a real gamble, because it would put the possible winning run into scoring position. 3-1 to Brandon Crawford. Right under the hands with that cutter. Very much foul. 3-2. So now the runners will both be going. Belt from second, the possible tying run. Blanco from first, the possible winning run. So they get that advantage, the running start. Two down, 2 men on, 3-2 the count. The runners go. Struck him out. And the Dodgers have taken game 1. And for the Giants, a bitter defeat. Billed as a pitching duel between Johnny Cueto and Clayton Kershaw, and it certainly lived up to that billing. And high drama right to the very end.
Well, it was a great game, and the Giants are going to feel like they had opportunity there at the end. They couldn't cash in on it. But what a game we saw between two great pitchers.
We're going to have more from AT&T Park. The Dodgers have defeated the Giants. Finally, in the 9th inning, bullpen against bullpen, 3-2 LA. We'll be back.